Man, I just can't. Cannot stay away from just extending some condolences to the folks down in Uvalde. As you guys probably watch the show regularly, you guys know that I'm from Texas, very familiar with Uvalde, and heart goes out to all the folks in that community. Prayers for them. Um, what a long week, and for the folks in Uvalde, um, life is just so tragic. Um, I wanted to just come here and just give 2 points of hope and maybe encouragement for you guys today. I'm not going to be long at all. I'm not doing full shows, and I just said, "Hey, the season is over. I'm not even going to touch this story." And I just spent a couple of days in prayer and just thought, I need to say something. But the first thing that I wanted to say is that of the 19 that were killed and the 2 adults that were there, also killed in the gunman, those are not numerically just 19 lives. Those parents, those extended family and that community, there's a little part of them that died in this tragedy that took place. And so I wanted to make mention of the fact that there's a lot of people who were um, affected deeply and will be for the rest of their lives. But I wanted to remind people that Christ is really the only one who can take the sting of death. If we were to give any perspective on this, there's really nothing helpful. We can banty about politics and we can swing back and forth wherever our position is on that. Talk about school safety and security. And all those issues need to be talked about at some point. They need to be discussed to see how we can do a better job. But we miss the ultimate point when we miss Christ and recognize that the sting of death, in which this certainly is a sting, a wound, not just for Uvalde, but also for our nation. Certainly, all of us who are parents recognize this the horror and horrific idea of life changing so quickly before your eyes. It's a possibility for any of us parents and something that we would never, ever want to hear. But Christ is the one who takes the sting of death. He's overcome death by virtue of his resurrection. And so I want to make sure that we are keen on that, because as we share the gospel message, we are giving people hope in times of hopelessness when we remind them of the fact that there is one who came, is not unacquainted with the sufferings of this world, and knows what it is that we most need in times like this, and has the power to deliver in our lives. And so let's remind people of Christ. The second thing is, and like I said, I'm not going to be long. I got to get off here even now. But those of you can check the stats. Before I moved to Nashville and started my music career, I worked as a paraprofessional and worked at behavior intervention and special needs in the public school district. I won't say the name of the school district. Wonderful school district, though. Um, and I will just say that the gunman, and everything that I've read about the gunman, I think I know that kid. Not the actual physical gunman, but the characteristics of one who was isolated, one who had a certain level of angst. I think I know that kid maybe all too well. I think maybe in some ways, as more and more details come out about the gunman's life, had it not been for the intervention of basketball coaches, band, um, teachers, and other people in my life, I think maybe I could have been that kid. And that's a sobering thought, to recognize that not only could I have been that kid without intervention in my life, but I think there are perhaps others who, upon hearing this, that I've worked with, that I think, man, I'm so glad that I was a part of their lives. And I don't know who else they would have had I not been able to be there for them. And so I just want to remind us all, just really quickly, that we all have an opportunity to be a part of people's lives in a very real and substantive way. And if it's not a real and substantive way, maybe we just say hello to somebody who seems like they're having a bad day. Maybe we ask if we can just help with somebody who's having a bad day. We might live next to the kid who is planning something like this for some summer amusement park or some place of public gathering. And who knows if our hello, our kindness, our countenance, our joy of Christ is going to make a lasting impact in their lives. And so I did want to say that prayers continue for Uvalde, um, also for Buffalo, for California, and other places all throughout the United States. God bless you guys. Erskin Music Show.